Hello everybody, this is tag 8. I think this session will be recorded for you because we have no attendance till now. So the topic or the issue of today's session is thinking skills. So understanding thinking skills is our issue of today's session. And the aim of this module is to identify and define thinking skills. It looks at the importance of developing thinking skills as well as how to categorize and apply thinking skills in the classroom by developing question skills. This module covers the professional practice. Understanding learners, exploring theories of learning and applying them to your context and learners. By the end of this module, you will be able to identify and define thinking skills. Examine why thinking skills should be developed. Let's know the meaning of thinking skills. What's the meaning of thinking skills? Activity. This was a suggested activity to do together, but because there is no attendees for today, so I'll give you an idea about that. This activity that we do in the beginning of the school year or in the beginning of a course, while we don't know most of the people of this course or our colleagues in a class. So find someone who. This is activity. This activity, you have some questions to ask in pairs, like solved a puzzle or crossword, categorized things into groups or lists. Each one of each pair have a paper and some questions in it. He or she will ask each questions to his pair, and then when he finds someone who has solved a puzzle or crossword, write the name here. Like, for example, Ahmed has solved a puzzle or crossword. So write here in your paper, Ahmed, Samia, Hani, and so on. Categorized things into groups or lists. You will ask the people around you. I would like to find someone who has categorized things into groups or lists. And when you find someone, write his or her name here. And find someone who is given someone directions. Explain a process to someone. Written a report. Organized a group of people to complete a task. Planned an event such as a dinner or a party. And someone who's told someone else why they did something. Find someone who has planned a lesson without resources. Again, you go around the class or the room you are in with your colleagues in a course or in a class and write the name of a person you found that has done this action. Now move to, from the previous activity, find someone who has done a certain activity, what or a certain action. What do you think of all the actions? Do you need thinking skills to do them? Do you need thinking skills to solve a puzzle or to categorize things into groups, to explain something to someone, or plan a lesson without resources? So it's time to define thinking skills. What is the definition or one of many definitions for thinking skills? Thinking skills are the mental activities you use to process information, make connections, make decisions, and create new ideas. You use your thinking skills when you try to make sense of experiences, solve problems, make decisions, ask questions, make plans, or organize information. This is the thinking skills definition. But is there a difference between thinking skills, practical skills, and knowledge? Sometimes we have a practical skill and we consider it thinking skills, or knowledge and consider it a thinking skill. So let's have together the difference between the uh, three items: thinking skills, practical skills, and knowledge. Here is the difference between thinking skills, practical skills, and knowledge. So, thinking skills is defined as thinking skills are the mental activities you use to process information, make connections, make decisions, and create new ideas. Practical skills are the skills which are performed physically. Knowledge, facts, or information acquired through experience or education. So here it is very clear the difference between the three items. Thinking skills, something mental activities you use to process information and generate ideas and make connections between the ideas. Practical skills, something you do physically or perform physically, like fixing your bike or painting a picture and so on. Knowledge is information you know from your experience and by education. So, examples for thinking skills: generating a new idea, answering some grammar questions. When you have some grammar questions, you need to connect the particles or the form of the formula of this grammar piece. So all these skills you need is okay. We have someone now. Hello, Sabah. You hear me? Hello. Okay, so let's go on. Here is the difference between thinking skills, practical skills, and knowledge. Practical skills, examples, playing the piano, painting a picture, where examples for knowledge, the name of a capital city, medical information about headache, and so on. We have activity here. Decide if the action is thinking skills, practical skills, or knowledge. We have some actions and you need to define it or decide if this action is thinking skill, practical skill, or knowledge. The names of poets. When you know the names of poets, poets are people who write poems. So if you like poems or you like poetry and you know many of the names of these uh, poets, so we can call it thinking skill, practical skill, or knowledge. Of course, knowing the names of poets is knowledge. Number two, fixing a bike. Fixing a bike is not a thinking skill, but it's practical skills. Number three, number three, analyzing data collected in a survey. It's thinking skills, practical skill, or knowledge. We consider it thinking skill. For painting a portrait. Painting a portrait or a drawing is considered practical skills. A practical skill because you do it physically or using your hand to draw or paint a portrait or a drawing. Number five, playing the piano. And playing the piano as well is a practical skill because it's done physically by you. Six, organizing information about historical events is a thinking skill. Seven, solving a math problem, thinking skill. Eight, important dates in history, it's knowledge. Nine, baking a cake is a practical skill. 10, making decision about which car to buy is a thinking skill. How the football is manufactured, it's knowledge. But manufacturing the football itself, if you are the worker or the laborer that make this football, so it's practical skill. But if you know how is or how the football is manufactured, so it's just knowledge. Here we have the thinking skills or the actions we do while we think. So a real situation, we have here a real situation to apply on answering a grammar question. If we have a grammar question here like Peter is running, runs now. So this is the present continuous tense. And we have to answer the grammar question here. So we need our thinking skills. So let's apply on that. The first thing we do, focusing. What we focus on? Focusing on the structure of the sentence. The structure of the sentence. What is the structure here? The subject is or am or are and the verb plus ing. Here is the focusing on the formula. Organizing, the item organizing or the skill of organizing. We organize the location of every word, the subject, the verb, and the addition ing to the verb. This is the organizing skill of the thinking skills. The third skill is analyzing. Analyzing the sequence of the words to form the present simple correctly. So we have a certain consequence for the words to form the formula of the present continuous tense correctly. Compiling is like collecting, and in this skill, compiling the parts of the present simple form, am, is, or are, plus verb plus ing. Generating, the generating skill, a meaning for generating a meaning or make a meaning for the parts of the sentence with only one correct choice. Connecting. What do we connect in answering this question or grammar question? Connecting the parts of the present simple form, am, is, or are, plus verb plus ing. Thanks, and before we leave, I need to have a screenshot for the attendance. Only Miss Sabah Hussein for today, and all the other people are absent. So before we leave, Miss Sabah, let me take a screenshot. Okay, it's okay now. Thank you.
It's okay.
Thanks, Miss Sabah. See you next time, inshallah.
Inshallah.